Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. We are continuing the NSE road trip. This is, I think, the eighth session. We've started them all the way back in October, featuring a wide variety of the NSE campuses and opportunities available through the National Student Exchange Program. Please keep yourselves muted during the main session. Video is welcome. We do actually like to see faces. We are recording this session, and the format here is basically each campus will give a brief overview. Because we only have three campuses, there will be plenty of time for Q&A. And so you could put questions or comments in the chat, but then we'll leave most of the questions for the end of the session. As I said earlier, we'll give actually I'm going to start with giving some general information about the National Student Exchange, then we'll do the campus intros and get on to Q&A. So NSE, we were founded in 1968. We've been doing this for a long time. NSE inspires academic enrichment, personal exploration, and student development by facilitating accessible collegiate study away. Our member campuses are all throughout the United States, Canada, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Our values, we value diversity, open-mindedness, and cross-cultural engagement to foster learning, understanding, respect, and a sense of community among all people. We believe that adding this collegiate study away experience enhances education and enriches student growth. The purpose of NSE allows students to grow academically, grow personally, and grow professionally. They can take new courses, meet new people, and expand your horizons. Lots of great opportunities through NSE. We currently have about 160 campuses available for exchange. Again, they are all throughout the United States, as well as Canada and Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. We do welcome any major. The cool thing about NSE is we have such a wide variety of campuses that literally every single major is going to be available or offered through another institution. So this could be a chance to take classes within your major and stay on track to graduate. But also there is a chance to take classes maybe not available at your home institution. I think that's a great benefit here too. NSE is extremely affordable, and we'll talk about that here throughout the presentation. Students either continue to pay their home campus tuition. You'll hear reference to home pay. We also have the option we call away pay, where students qualify for the resident rate tuition to the other campus. And in general, financial aid does follow students on exchange. We have some basic eligibility requirements. Deborah, can you click a couple of times? There we go. Eligibility are pretty basic here. We really try to make this program accessible to all students. Minimum 2.5 GPA, sophomore, junior, senior standing. The rest are all listed here as well. So without further ado, I'd like to advance to the next slide and introduce Ann Trist from the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Take it away, Ann.
Thanks, David. Hi, everyone. As David said, my name's Anne, and I am the outbound coordinator at University of Alaska Fairbanks, usually working with our outbound students, but filling in as there's a transition in our inbound coordinators right now. Fairbanks, for anyone that didn't know before, is right in smack in the middle of Alaska. It's nicknamed the Golden Heart City, partly because we're formerly in a gold mining area, but also it's right in the heart of Alaska. UAF does have several satellite campuses as well, all around the state that you can see on the map here. But our main campus is in Fairbanks, and pretty much all the exchange students we have coming in through NSE do come to our Fairbanks campus. UAF is also Alaska's flagship research university in the University of Alaska system. So even though we're a fairly small campus as state universities go, we do have a lot of research going on for our size. And undergraduate research is pretty common too, and that's something that even NSC students can get involved in. If you're a student that's interested in that, I do recommend, if possible, coming for an academic year to give yourself the most time to figure out what research you want to get involved in and to do that. Another thing that Fairbanks is really known for is aurora viewing. You might think that kind of the further north you go, the more likely you are to see the aurora, but actually the aurora appears kind of in a band around the North Pole. If you go too far north, you're actually a little bit less likely to see it, but we are right in the sweet spot, right where that band most commonly appears and where the aurora is most commonly strongest. People come from all over the world to Fairbanks to see the aurora. And for students spending a full semester on our campus, unless you have like a solid 8 p.m. bedtime that you never deviate from, you are basically guaranteed to see the Northern Lights while you are here. Very likely more than once. Um, so that's a really cool thing about spending time here in Fairbanks. Um, oh, sorry, I wasn't quite done with that slide. Thank you. Um, we also have our Alaska Mester program at UAF, which is a way for exchange students, including NSE students, to come for a cohorted experience in the spring. So you'll be more than likely part of a group of at least 10 students who are coming here for a semester. And then for Alaska Mester students, we have some built-in field trips to get out and experience um, outdoor recreation and other experiences near Fairbanks. Whether or not you're participating in those field trips as part of Alaska Muster, some of the places accessible by car from Fairbanks include Chena Hot Springs, just about an hour and a half outside of town. I was actually just there on Monday. Really great when the temperatures are really low to be soaking in those hot springs. We're also the city that is closest to Denali National Park, which is about 2.5 hour drive away, so really easy to do as a weekend trip. You can also go further north on the Dalton Highway up to the Arctic Circle. There's a sign where the road crosses the Arctic Circle, so you can take a picture and prove you've been there. We're also really close to North Pole, not the North Pole, but North Pole is the name of a town right next to Fairbanks. And they do have like a Santa Claus house tourist attraction there. And then you can visit other parts of Alaska too. So Anchorage can be a great long weekend trip. It's about 6.5 hour drive or a quick 1 hour flight to get down there. And of course, if you have more time, there's even more places you could visit in Alaska too. So some of the highlights of spending time on the Fairbanks campus, like I mentioned, really great opportunity, best place in the US to see the Northern Lights. We are right smack in the middle of the Alaska wilderness, so we don't have a lot of suburbs or sprawl around here. It's really like as soon as you get outside of town, you are there in the wilderness. So that puts a lot of really great outdoor recreation opportunities right on our doorstep. So um, hiking, backpacking, cross-country skiing, rock climbing, ice climbing, dog sledding, those are all really popular here. Personally, I'm a really big fan of cross-country skiing. And I think we're probably the best place in the US for that. We have a really long season for winter sports from pretty solidly November through March, sometimes even longer, where we have consistent snow cover. And for cross-country skiing, really great groomed and ungroomed trails all around town, right in town, even right on campus. Um, when you get a little further out from Fairbanks, there are, really great wilderness areas you can visit, like Denali National Park. But we even have wildlife come in right to be on campus. So it's not that uncommon to see a moose while you are walking around a campus, or even outside your office window, like that picture down at the bottom there. And it's also a great place to experience the real Alaskan winter. So I realize that could be a little bit off-putting to some people. It does get pretty cold here. We've had a colder winter than normal this year. But here it's very dry and we get very little wind. So you might be surprised, -20 with no wind and low humidity can feel more comfortable than +20 with high humidity and wind. So if you're dressed for the weather, it's really honestly not that bad. It's still comfortable to be outside if you're dressed well for most of the winter. And there's so few places now that get that real winter with consistent snow cover. So it can really feel kind of like a winter wonderland here for most of the winter, and it's really beautiful. Another nice thing about our campus, oh, last one on that slide, is I think we're a really good size, especially with our residential population on campus, where we're fairly small but not teeny tiny. So it has a kind of cozy feel, but there's still a lot going on campus, and our exchange students usually find it's pretty easy to make friends. Okay, next slide. Thank you. Few fast facts about UAF. Our total enrollment is a little over 7,000 students between all of our campuses, but here on the Fairbanks campus, we have 5,000 some students. That is including some online students too, and commuter students. So our on-campus residential population and that's graduate students as well. So our undergrad on-campus residential population is significantly smaller. We have a really good student to faculty ratio too. So you can't expect a lot of small classes here and personal attention from faculty. Okay, next slide. Like I mentioned, we are a university that does a lot of research, especially for our size, especially research related to the Arctic and to climate change. The Arctic is warming faster than anywhere else. This is a really great and unique spot to be studying climate change, and we have a lot of climate change related curriculum and classes for students here at UAF as well. We're also one of a small handful of universities in the US that is a land, sea, and space grant university, which is a very unique designation. Um, so overall, with all the research we have going on campus and this kind of natural laboratory that we're right in the middle of, there's a lot of great opportunities for students to get hands-on learning and fieldwork experience and research experience here. Okay, next slide. Thank you. We have a lot of different majors on campus, everything from engineering to business, liberal arts to natural sciences. Some of the majors that often attract students to come and study here include Alaska Native Studies, wildlife biology, and geosciences. Um, for NSE students coming to study in Fairbanks, we do guarantee on-campus housing. So you won't have to worry about your housing. We don't require it, but most students do decide to live on campus. And in our dorms, we do have a lot of events going on. So like I said, our students normally find it's pretty easy to get involved and getting connected into the community here. Um, For taking advantage of all those outdoor recreation opportunities that I mentioned, we have a recreation program that helps students do that. So they run weekend trips year round, a little bit longer trips in the summer as well, which spring students are welcome to stay on for and sign up for some of those trips. Um, these include all kinds of outdoor activities all around here. We also have an climbing wall on campus that you can see in the photo here. And then if you want to get out and take advantage of some of those recreation opportunities yourself too, they also have a really great equipment rental program. So you can rent skis, backpacking gear, ice climbing gear, like anything you can need for any of your adventures is available for a really low student rental rate. We have some fun yearly on-campus traditions too. Coming up soon in the spring semester, we have our winter carnival, and then a little bit later, Spring Fest, which are both have a lot of kind of mini events going on within them. And then in the fall, probably our most unique one is Starvation Gulch, which involves teams of students building very large structures out of hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of pallets. And then our university fire department sets them on fire, and there's like a big dance party next to all these burning structures. And it's a lot of fun. Um, Another really cool yearly event we have is the Festival of Native Art. So, like I mentioned earlier, Alaska Native Studies is a academic area open to students to study at UAF too, but we also have a lot of events going on campus for students that want to learn more about Alaska Native culture, and this is kind of the biggest one of the year. It happens every spring semester. And I think that's it for me, so I'll turn it back over to David.
Thanks so much, Anne. So, a little information about tuition options for University of Alaska Fairbanks. They do operate on home tuition. That again means the student continues to pay home campus tuition. They pay room board fees to the host campus. And in general, this campus has a 75% chance of acceptance on home tuition. They accept about 75% of applicants in the last couple years. They also accept students on away tuition, where you pay resident rate tuition to UAF. That amount for this year is $5,559 per semester, plus room board fees, etc. And this is an open campus on away tuition. They do accept eligible students at about 100% rate. Thanks so much, Anne. We will go to the next slide. And I'd like to welcome Eileen from University of Alaska Anchorage.
Hi, everyone. So, as David said, my name is Eileen. I am the NSE coordinator here at UAA. I also have Sharice Beatus from Prince William Sound College and Nancy Johnson from Ketchikan Bay College, our campus, who are here to answer some questions if they come up at the end. I'd like to start off by saying that UAA recognizes our unique location in South Central Alaska, the ancestral land of the Dena'ina, Etna, Alutiiq, Supiaq, and Eyak peoples. I am located here in Anchorage. We are considered kind of a central hub. There's a lot of places that you can reach from Anchorage. So we have Girdwood, which has the Alyeska ski resort where you can go skiing and snowboarding. You can do berry picking when it's not snowing out. We also have the Matanuska Glacier, which is the largest glacier that is drivable by car in the United States. Seward has the Alaska Sea Life Center, they also do like the mountain marathon race in July. Kenai, we have kayaking, fishing, wildlife. And then in Homer, we have our Semester by the Bay program, as well as Valdez has the outdoor leadership and semester on the Sound. And I'll talk about those special programs a little bit later. So fun facts about UAA. I kind of already briefly touched on the fact that we have 5 campuses. So here at the Anchorage campus is primarily where we will have our NSE students come to exchange. We do have the Mat-Su College, Prince William Sound College, Kenai Peninsula College, which has the Ketchikan Bay campus, and Kodiak College. Here at the Anchorage campus, we have 8,564 students. The majority of those students are Alaska residents, but we do see students from all 50 states and from 67 nations. We have about a 15-to-1 student-faculty ratio. One of kind of the things that we have here at UAA is we're very community oriented. So while we have free shuttles on campus, we also have students with their Wolf cards or their student IDs have access to the public bus systems because we want students to be able to go out and explore the community. We also try to participate in community events. So down at the bottom left corner there, we have a picture of Spirit, who is our mascot, participating during an event for Ferrande, which kind of is the celebration around the Iditarod. And of course, I have a picture of one of our glaciers and a moose that is right on campus. Here at UA, we have over 100 different academic programs, certificates, minors, and concentrations, occupational endorsements. This is just the bachelor's programs that we offer here at UAA. We do have unique programs as well with Alaska Native Studies and the Physical Education and Recreation. In our middle picture there, straight dab in the center, that's actually from an Alaska Native art class where they're doing carving. And on the upper left, we have a picture of somebody from one of our ice climbing classes. So here at UAA, we are designated a military-friendly school for this, which we've had for the 16th consecutive year. We also offer honors access for students. So students can come and interact with our honors college. We also have undergraduate research. So we have cutting edge research opportunities relating to Arctic studies, climate change, natural resources, wildlife, and much more. Students are doing amazing research in natural sciences, social sciences, economic development, justice, and much more as well. One of the kind of cool things that I enjoyed as a student here is we would work in class with professionals in our fields. So for instance, the accounting club works with accounting firms and they have networking events with these firms. I did mention at the beginning the special programs. We have 3 special programs that you can take through UAA. They are host pay only, meaning that you would pay UAA's tuition. We have first our outdoor leadership in Valdez, Alaska. The picture there is students volunteering at the Copper Basin 300, which is a dog race in Glen Allen. So the focus of this program is on technical skills and foundation of outdoor recreation for work in a professional setting. Past students have gotten jobs as a tour guide, recreation managers, special event planner, adventure wilderness guides. Their focus is on self-discovery, adventure, and leadership. One of the kind of cool things that comes out of this program is you can get industry certifications in like swift water rescue, self-discovery, swift water rescue, leave no trace, wilderness first aid responder, avalanche 1 and 2, certified outdoor leader, and then sea and river kayaking skills. Our second program that we have is our Semester by the Bay program in Homer, Alaska. It is a hands-on experience where you get to experience cold water marine habitat and Alaska themes. And they have two separate focuses. In fall, their focus is marine mammals, where they do you get to observe sea otters, killer and humpback whales. You can also work independently on internships during this time. In the spring, the focus is environmental conservation. Students can work with government and nonprofit professionals that are doing real-time data collection and environmental conservation. Potential opportunities for research internships during this program, and you are working with, as I said before, with real-time data collections. Our third program is the Semester on the Sound in Valdez, Alaska. This one also has a different focus each semester. In the fall, it is a terrestrial focus where the students interact directly with natural resource management organizations. And then in the spring, it's marine focused, where they're taking water samples, monitoring marine community development, aiding in mariculture research, and observing wildlife like sea otters and seabirds. Students in the Semester on the Sound program can work as entry-level technicians with the National Park Service, NOAA, the Chugach Regional Resources Commission, and other Alaska Native organizations. Switching back to our Anchorage campus, I want to talk a little bit about our campus life here. So we do have 80 plus student clubs and organizations, and we have some really fun ones, like the Chronicles of Yarnia, which is a knitting club. We obviously, I've talked a little bit about the accounting club. We do have the option of, if there is a club that a student is interested in, we allow we have an office that helps make that club happen. So if you as an NSE student would love to see something here, you'd be able to help make the club. We also have 2 sororities, 2 fraternities on campus. We do have our USUAA government, student government, and then we have a student-run newspaper called the Northern Light, the student-run KRUA. With our campus life, we also have 3 really big events. We also have lots of little events throughout the semester, but the 3 I think are most important are campus kickoff, where we have all of these organizations plus resources welcome everybody back to campus, and it's a big party. We have our homecoming, where we have games, and so up above at the top there is the water battleship. So we have students participate in lots of fun events during that time. And then we have our Winterfest, which is actually coming up. It's kind of tied into Iditarod and the Ferrandi, so students can be active in the winter. Housing also has social events and activities. On the top left there is a picture of one of our dorm students. So like I said, social events and activities. We also have just kind of, we like to just have fun in general. On the bottom, second in, that is one of our automotive professors fishing on campus. And then right next to it, we also have a picture of our esports lounge, which our esports team is one of the 80 clubs we have. They worked with a bunch of different organizations to get funding outside of UAA to create an esports lounge that is open for all students. So we really love our robust campus life. We also have sports. We have 12 NCAA sports. Students get free admissions into all of the games. So we have hockey, basketball, volleyball. I won't read the whole list. But we also have intramural sports. So students can do volleyball, basketball, soccer, where they join a team and those teams face off. Within the sports complex, we also have an ice rink, swimming pool, gym, fitness center, and an Olympic weight room that is free for students to use. They just have to have their Wolf card. Well, and with that, I just want to thank everybody for listening. Leave you with our tagline: your journey, your community, your impact.
Thanks so much, Eileen. So, University of Alaska Anchorage operates on both tuition plans, home and away. They have an excellent chance of acceptance, about 75% if you're requesting home tuition, and they are open if you're requesting away tuition, which is 4,611 per semester. And just a reminder, Eileen mentioned this, the special programs that were mentioned are only available on away tuition. All right, next slide. And I'd like to introduce Kaylee from University of Alaska Southeast.
Hey everyone. Yeah, so we are the smallest university out of the three, and we are the farthest south. Juneau is located in the Tongass National Forest. It is the largest intercoastal temperate rainforest. So when you're looking at which school you might be interested in going on exchange to, climate's going to play a really big part. So one of the biggest perks of Juneau is that the rainforest makes it a little more temperate. We are on the ocean. We have access to mountains. So the recreation is going to be incredible. And then you can only access the capital city by boat or plane. So that is a fun fact to keep in mind. And that's going to be the same for any of our three campuses. However, exchange students can access Juneau and Sitka programs, which I will touch base on in a few slides. And then we also have access to our Mendenhall Glacier, which is about a 7-minute drive from campus. And that usually includes a hike to Nugget Falls, which is one of the largest waterfalls in the US, and other outdoor rec opportunities for orientation. We have a local ski area as well. It is small but mighty. And then we also have over 400 miles of accessible trail systems, whether just on campus, as well as via the road system here that we have. So just keep that in mind that things are very accessible here in Juneau, even though we are small and a bit more remote. We have a few, oh yeah, and I'll just go through the Ketchikan and Sitka campus programs later. But one thing is that this photo is of one of our environmental science faculty members, Erin Hood. And some of you may or may not know about the Yakulip, which is the big Mendenhall flood that happens every year in Juneau. So there's been a lot of really cutting edge ongoing research with melting ice fields here as well. So if you're thinking of doing Arctic climate research, or if you're interested in more of the temperate climate research, Alaska has those different opportunities, and that's kind of what's cool about choosing one of the three campuses. Next slide. Perfect. So UAS fast facts. We are definitely the smallest campus. We have a little over 2,000 students enrolled. However, only about a couple hundred actually live on campus. Everyone else is usually remote or part of the Ketchikan and Sitka campus populations. Most of our students do come from Alaska, and then 35% are actually rural Alaskans, as well as 25% of our students are Alaskan Native identified as well. So most of our students are middle-aged or older, but we also have a lot of students traditional age too. So when coming on exchange, we have a lot of students in their sophomore years. I've had a student in the fall who is in a senior year. So there's a lot of fun, flexible aging with who you're going to meet on campus. And then we have over 75 degree programs to choose from. Doesn't mean they're all accessible to NSE, so I'll explain that on the next slide. But we have online and in-person options for a lot of courses, interesting ones. But the in-person availability is really great. And our student to faculty ratio is 9 to 1, so it's still on the smaller side, along with Anchorage and Fairbanks as well. And that just means that you're going to have access to the faculty here, especially for campus jobs and research opportunities. So the networking at a smaller university is definitely a perk. Awesome. So I just kind of tried to highlight some of our notable and unique programs. We have our outdoor studies and leadership certificate, and we did have an NSE student complete that last year. It takes about 9 months, but that does have a capstone project at the end, an excursion, and outdoor studies is bottom right photo. There's backcountry skiing, camping, navigation. I'm personally taking the Wilderness First Responder course that we have coming up in the spring. So a lot of those programs and courses are what draws our exchange students because it's so accessible here. And then you also get to travel to different Southeast Alaskan towns, which is really cool. So you get to see a bit more of the region than just Juneau or just the campus you're studying at. Aquaculture, mariculture, and our scientific diving programs, those are the three unique programs that we offer in our Sitka campus. So I encourage you to research more about Sitka. It's just a beautiful, just smaller version of Juneau. And those I have exchange students in each semester. So I'm still the coordinator, even though I'm not located in Sitka, I'm still the coordinator for all of this. So feel free to shoot me any questions regarding these in particular. Alaska Native Languages and Studies, as Eileen and Anne have pointed out for Anchorage and Fairbanks as well, is another top notable program here. UAS is on the Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian lands. So you get to learn a bit about each culture, each tribe and clan, and it also involves a lot of art programs. So I'm just going to kind of move into our Northwest Coast arts, which is something our exchange students also like to take. So I did the beginning carving class, and you get to carve a Tlingit style paddle, which is very unique. And one of my international students did it as well, and she sent her paddle to Germany. So it's definitely a popular semester long program as well, if you're interested. And then we have marine biology that's very big, especially with our campus being located right on the ocean. And then accessibility to a lot of our environmental science, natural sciences courses as well, being in the climate and region we are in. But then we also have a lot of students that come here to study English and literature, Indigenous studies, humanities. So it's a really great mix. Next. Thanks, Deborah. So these are just some of the photos from campus. The top left with the helicopter, that is our outdoor studies certificate cohort. They also do some work in Valdez with Prince William Sound College, so that collaboration with UAA has been really cool to see. We also see the Northern Lights. The one photo, I personally took that only 2 days ago. We had an incredible solar storm here in Alaska. So there is a lot of cool opportunities no matter what campus you choose. Sea kayaking, that photo is from one of our outdoor studies courses as well. And then the central photo is of the Mendenhall Glacier. That's in summer with our fireweed blooms here. And like I said, that's only about a 7-minute drive from campus. And then that photo down below, the two bottom ones are actually of the current students here on spring semester. They're getting along really well. We made the best of it with our Snowmageddon, we called it, with our record-setting snow. This season, we got over 82 inches in less than a week. So we made the most of it. And the other group photo I have on the bottom, we went up to the ski area. So there's a bunch of different exchange specific excursions I've been very intentional about. And that is the current student cohort right now. We're missing a few students, but we went whale watching along the coast. We went skiing, and it was really cool. And then part of fall orientation is whale watching, going up the tram to Mount Roberts, and doing a lot of other really cool community exploration. And then the top right photo is of Wayne Price. He's our master Tlingit carving instructor. So going back to the Northwest Coast Arts program. And then we go tide pooling, but there's also a lot of really great community events. So we have the traditional games, Native Youth Olympics. Each semester there's a tournament in town. And then we also have our Juneau Fall or our Juneau Jazz Fest and other fun events. So we don't have music programs, but then there's other ways to kind of explore local culture in that way. And then we also just have a lot of great research opportunities for students, whether it's paid or an internship. So that's just kind of the array of photos there. Student life. So kind of what Anne and Eileen were saying, it's pretty robust here in Alaska. I feel like if you're going to choose to study on exchange, at least from my perspective as a previous NEC student who came from Wisconsin to Alaska, you're kind of doing it for the adventure of it, whether that be artistic, outdoor. There's a lot of different ways that you can get involved. So for student life, I'm a one-person office at UAS. So the programming that I have been doing is inclusive of our international students as well as our NSE students. So like I said, skiing, and then we're going to do like indoor archery. A lot of students want to do block printing and other off-campus events. So we kind of make a plan and make it work. And I just try to make sure students are able to engage with the community on campus as well as off campus. So some of these photos include our Winter Fest as well. Since we're on the water, ours includes the polar plunge. You'll see Spike, our whale mascot there as well. And then we also do like ice skating and group dinners and things like that. There's bonfires on campus there or off campus together, as well as, like I said, hiking by the Mendenhall Glacier. Um, there's also a lot of great recreational areas or the rec center on campus. So students have free bus passes, city bus passes. It's free access to our gym. There's a lot of student perks for our city. So the ski area, students get like a free day pass, discounted season tickets, gear rentals. So there's a lot of really great student perks just being at UAS. And then glow in the dark dodgeball has been really popular. That just happened last week. They also did like their own Squid Games. I did not participate, but that was really popular for students. We also have intramurals. We're the only school that doesn't have division sports. So students can participate in on-campus intramurals. Otherwise, Juneau as a community has hockey, soccer, volleyball. There's great cross-country skiing, downhill skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing. There's a lot of really great athletic opportunities here. It's just not going to be divisional. And then we have over 40 campus clubs between Sitka and Juneau. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of them coming up is student government. That's a really great one. And birding club. There's a tide pooling club. Basically, every department kind of has their own thing, which is cool. We also have annual career fairs, networking dinners that a lot of our exchange students participate in because they're kind of coming to Alaska, it seems, for career development opportunities. So that's been a really cool collaboration with my office and the Career Center here on campus. So you have access to your counseling, tutoring, Career Center, health clinic at no additional charge as a student here. And then community events, we have our annual Folk Fest, which is in April every year. And then we have Juneau Jazz Fest, which is actually coming up next month. Native Youth Olympics tournaments, which last fall I was able to get exchange students. We volunteered together, and that was a really cool experience. And then we have First Fridays downtown, where a lot of shops and music events happen. And Shamrock Shuffle and Holiday Cups are popular soccer tournaments that students can get involved with. So there's never a shortage of things to do. Awesome. I'll give it back to David.
Sounds great. Thanks, Kaylee. University of Alaska Southeast also operates on both tuition plans, home and away. The chance of acceptance if you're requesting home tuition is excellent, about 75%. And on away tuition, they are open, and their resident rate tuition is about $5,100 per semester. Okay, next slide, please. So what's next? First of all, if you want to click the button there, all students should contact your home NSE coordinator if you've not done so already. You can do that by clicking the request info button on the NSE website, nse.org, and that message goes directly to your NSE coordinator. Next click, please. One more. There we go. And then the next step is to start your NSE application. We are currently accepting applications right now for this upcoming academic year, specifically fall 2026 and or spring 2027. Although this deadline actually is coming up for summer 2026, which I think University of Alaska Fairbanks accepts students for summer only. So every campus has their own application deadline. It's generally sometime in February, early to mid to late February. So make sure you contact your coordinator and start your NSE application as soon as possible. Next slide. Uh, Another opportunity to learn more is to visit us by attending an info session. So you can sign up for an info session on the NSE website under the Explore Campuses heading. Click info session. We have a couple dozen, or actually about a dozen, I think, scheduled from now until the end of February. And we also encourage you to keep the road trip going by attending more sessions. We actually have two more. Next week, we'll be featuring all of the special programs, a couple of which were mentioned today, but we have many other special programs that tend to be more field-based, experiential, research-based programs. And so sign up on that virtual affairs link for upcoming sessions. And in early February, we'll be featuring our HBCU campuses, so historically black college and university campuses. Next slide, please. Really want to thank you all for being here. You can hang out if you have any questions. We'll stay here in the main room. If you want more information, please visit visit the NSE website for all of the information. Every campus has a detailed profile there. That'd be the next best place to go to learn a lot more. Your next steps, as I said, is to connect with your home coordinator. You can do that through the NSE website. And then, of course, follow us on social media.